Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk all things major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and much, much more. I'm your host, Chris, and today we have some Chris Evans news. Recently, he had a new movie come out, the Lightyear movie, where they were doing the story of who created Buzz Lightyear. Where did the toy come from? Super fun. If you haven't heard about it, maybe you should give it a watch. But during some interviews, he talked about his historic return to the MCU, and how he would be more likely to return as a multiverse version of the Human Torch than Captain America. However, he did not completely close the door on returning as Captain America either. We're going to talk about both of these and possible scenarios where the characters would fit into the MCU in today's video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell. We're getting close to 60,000 subscribers and I'm very grateful, and it's awesome to continue to grow and build an awesome community where we talk all movie news. Also, you can check me out on my other socials, Instagram at Chris M. Rosser and Twitter at The Culture Chris. Links to both are in the description down below. Now, before we get into the video and the quotes, I do want to know, if you could choose, would you rather see Chris Evans come back as Captain America, or would you rather see him come back as the Human Torch? Now, in this scenario, I would say he would be young Captain America, maybe out of the multiverse, or some type of scenario where we see Captain America go back in time and return all the stones, whether it's a cool series, whatever it be. Would you rather see Captain America or the Human Torch, played by Chris Evans, in the future of the MCU in Phase 4 and 5? So in this interview, I think there are two parts mostly we need to talk about. Him as Captain America potentially returning, and what the actor Chris Evans' thoughts are, and the Johnny Storm portion. I want to start with Captain America, because Chris Evans is Captain America. He played this iconic role in one of the most, if not the most successful movie franchises in the history of cinema. So what would it mean to him to come back? He's talking about here coming back as Johnny Storm and how that would be easier than coming back as Captain America, saying, look, I would love it. I would love it. That would actually be an easier sell to me than coming back as Cap. You know what I mean? Cap is so precious to me. And you know, I almost don't want to disrupt what a beautiful experience that was. But Johnny Storm, I feel like he didn't really get his day. That was before Marvel really found its footing. So I loved that role. And you know, who knows? He also stated in a recent interview as well that if he were to return as Captain America, it would have to be under perfect circumstances. And he kind of touches on that in this interview as well, where he states, I don't want to disrupt the perfect ending. And it was acknowledged by the interviewer. You know, you're right. That really was a perfect ending for Captain America. He went out, he got everything he wanted. The fight was done. He fulfilled his purpose. And, you know, we've put Captain America to rest. My only dissettlement with it is we really haven't. He went back in time, we saw him, and that was it. No funeral, no memorial, no memory. We've just passed the mantle on to Falcon, and he went out without a whisper. However, Chris Evans, the actor, has claimed, unless they came up with something very, very specific, he would not want to touch Captain America. It is something very special to him. He does, however, also believe that Johnny Storm has not been given his opportunity to shine, or to flame on, I suppose, and that he would love to come back and give that a shot. And with the multiverse, that's an absolute possibility. So let's then talk more about Johnny Storm and Chris Evans returning to play him in the MCU. He was asked, would it have intrigued you, and also has anybody come up and asked you about this? And Evans says, no one has ever come to me about that. I mean, I don't exactly look the same anymore. That was 15, almost 20 years ago. Oh my, I'm old. But I really love that character. But I think, aren't they doing something now with the Fantastic Four? It's kind of an interesting conversation here, because he does know this. Chris Evans knows that something's happening with the Fantastic Four. In fact, if there was a world where only 15 people know what's happening with the Fantastic Four, he very well may be one of them. So kind of playing coy like, oh, they're already doing something with the Fantastic Four, I think. You know, there could be some questions about whether or not he actually has been talked to about returning as his role. He also talked about how he would be more willing to play Johnny Storm in the MCU than he would be to play Captain America again. And that's because of the precious and important status that Captain America has currently been left in, and I completely understand and agree and respect that decision. But as a fan of the 2007 Fantastic Four of Chris Evans, I would be just so happy to get a little bit of Johnny Storm in the MCU. Even though it would 100% just be a multiverse appearance, or maybe come Secret Wars, there will also be a opportunity to have multiple different characters show up, and Johnny Storm as Chris Evans could show up and do that as well. But there's no world where Johnny Storm is going to be Chris Evans in the MCU. They're going to want somebody younger, somebody new, and that's completely fine. I agree 100%. But in a future where the multiverse is still in madness, where incursions are running amok, and Secret Wars is happening under the ruling of Lord Emperor Doom, perhaps we could see a Johnny Storm played by Chris Evans. Chris Evans back in the MCU. And it sounds like he is more than willing. Now I want to talk about a few ways that Captain America could return. And I already mentioned one, and that would be a really fun series. A Disney Plus series I think would just be an absolute blast. Would be Captain America, the Returning Avenger. Something like that, where we get to watch the entire saga of him going back and returning all of the Infinity Stones, the relics, everything that they used. Mjolnir, he went to Asgard for goodness sake, and we missed it because it wasn't something we saw. So he took Mjolnir and all of the stones, went back in time, and then found himself with the love of his life, Peggy Carter, and that was the end of it. Tell me that's not a series you would love to see. There's also room, and I will say, for Old Man Cap. As I mentioned, there hasn't been a funeral, there hasn't been an actual sending off for Captain America yet, that somewhere up on a sword base with Nick Fury, there is Captain America, who will still be calling some shots and doing some work, even as Old Man Cap, capable because of the power of the super soldier serum, to be a general, to be setting people up and organizing. Something I would also really like to see. Maybe a general in Sword working next to Nick Fury. Both of those are absolutely options. But we also have to talk about Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, who will be very soon making his way into the MCU for the very first time in the heavily discussed, rumored, and talked about Fantastic Four project, which I'm hoping we'll be getting some new news on come September with the D23 and the Disney Plus Day events. A lot of fun information will be coming our way. I think September 10th is the Marvel update day, and that should be when you expect to get any Mr. Fantastic news or any Fantastic Four news at all. Now, with that being said, we should be and are all expecting to be seeing Secret Wars within the next several years. Eventually, a massive incursion will cost the entire multiverse that Loki and Sylvie have thrown into chaos, into one planet, into one world, into one realm, led by, according to the comics, Lord Emperor Doom, but maybe in the MCU by Kang the Conqueror, who is definitely a current and active big bad happening in the MCU, who understands and uses multiversal travel for his own benefit. So maybe there we will be seeing multiple Iron Men, Captain Americas, Human Torches, played by Chris Evans potentially, and other characters that we would just love to see. Maybe somewhere out there there's a Hugh Jackman cameo, maybe out there is a Daredevil cameo, and just all sorts of characters that you would dream to see in the MCU. With a little bit of de-aging and a lot of bit of luck, we could get all of those in the future of the MCU. So I get asked often when I do lives, hey, what do you think the chances are we'll see this person? Any character has the opportunity and the potential to return for a cameo, for a elongated role in a series, for anything through the MCU's multiverse situation. And at the end, when the massive incursion puts it all into Secret Wars and we're going to try to save the day and fix it and set it all back to normal, we're going to be seeing some pretty crazy stuff. So I would not close the book yet on Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm. I certainly would not close the book either on him returning as Captain America one day if the circumstances and the stars align. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Do you think we'll see him back? And do you think he'll play Johnny Storm, Captain America, or both? As always, thank you to everybody who watched till the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or entertaining, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our daily videos right here on Cosmic Culture.